For most athletic departments, it seems every day is game day. But what happens before the opening tip, the first pitch, or the kickoff? And what happens after the last fan has left the stadium? Plenty. Scheduling practices, matches, games, officials, opponents, buses, concession workers, setting up team rosters, notifying fans, paying workers after the event. The task of running a successful program can be daunting, unless Arbiter Sports is in the game. Arbiter Sports simplifies the process of managing your athletic programs. With Arbiter Sports, you can schedule officials, pay event workers, even keep athletes, families, and fans informed all along the way without using any outdated equipment and with a single secure login. With Arbiter Sports, everyone gets notified of changes on their mobile device. All your 1099s get distributed automatically. And with all that extra time, you may just find a few minutes to work on your game. We've been in the game a long time, and we've evolved with sports and with technology to keep you performing at your best every day. At Arbiter Sports, we help you get your job done right. Find out how today.
Welcome to the Arbiter Sports ArbiterGame webinar. Today we're going to be learning a little bit about paying officials, workers, and simple pay. I'm going to turn the time over to Nick to get us started.
is going to be payments, vouchers, and our new Simple Pay feature. If you have any questions during the webinar, you can go ahead and ask those in the window on the far right. We'll have a moderator here to answer those as we go. To start out, we're going to talk about how to get a voucher in ArbiterGame. So what you're going to do is you're going to open your ArbiterGame account. You're going to go to the Schedule tab. I'm going to stop recording because I just started. Thanks. We'll have a moderator here who will answer those questions as we go. If there's any sort of questions that are a little bit more complex or specific than for the purposes of our webinar today, we will be able to direct you better from there. So to start out, you're going to go ahead and load your ArbiterGame account by going to arbitersports.com and then selecting that group. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this. From here, you're going to go to your Schedule tab, and then you're going to go find the game that you'd like to get a voucher for. For us, it's going to be the 11th. Now, a couple requirements for these vouchers to be on the game. You need to have officials on the game. You need to have them accepted on the game. They need to have gone in and accepted that on their schedule. And if you use an assigner, the assigner needs to have set up the game properly. If any of those things haven't happened, you won't be able to do this. So what you'll do is you'll select the game and you'll click on the green official shirt on the far right-hand side. Then you're going to go down into this bottom right-hand corner and click Print Voucher. This is going to download a file onto your computer. Just go down here in the bottom, hold this up. It'll look something like this. It'll give you the official, any of the personal information that's been entered in, give you the game fee, and places for the signatures of both the official and the athletic director. If you ever are missing an official on this list, make sure that they've accepted the game. And if they're missing any information, you can always contact the official to make sure they have that on their profile. After vouchers, we're going to talk briefly about making payments in ArbiterGame. So we're going to go ahead and click on this Payments tab. Now, from this Payments tab, you're going to be able to see the officials that you need to pay, see the amounts you need to pay them, as well as look at previous payments that you've made, and the ability to verify that everything's correct. So we're going to first start out by talking about how you pay an official. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your Arbiter Pay account is linked. Now, you'll be able to tell if it's linked if in this top right-hand corner it says Arbiter Pay and has your balance and account number. If it's not linked, you're not going to be able to pay these officials. There will be a link here that says link your Arbiter Pay account. So ours is linked. Next, what we want to do is we want to find the official that we're looking for. So for us, it's Angus here. But if we didn't see him, or if we were looking for a different official, you can narrow this list of officials by going into these filter options and selecting days that you're looking for. So we'll say October 11th. The sport that they worked, in our case, archery. And then you can also say whether or not it's an official or a worker you're looking for. And we see Angus right there. You also, from this page, can find payments that you've already made just by flipping this filter from unpaid to paid and then hitting go. So if we would like to pay Angus, what you'll do is you'll come down here and verify that the amount is correct. If it is, you're good to go on to the next step. But if it's not, you're going to want to click these three lines to drop down the boxes where you can edit these fees. So we're going to say that we owe Angus $20. And you'll see that the total up here updates as we change these. Now we have 30. So if all of the fees look correct, you'll go to the far left-hand side and check the box next to the official you want to pay, and then go down here to the bottom right-hand corner and click Make Payments. This will prompt you to enter in your security key, your tax identification number for 1099s, and then you'll be able to make payments here. Now, I don't have a balance, so I won't be able to make this payment right now. But if I had a balance and had entered in the security key and the payer TIN, this Make Payments button would be clickable. Now, let's say that Angus was paid on the field or in some other way aside from Arbiter Pay, and I no longer want him to show up in this list. The way to remove him from this list without having to mark him as paid is you can, again, check the box next to the official, and then in the bottom right-hand corner beneath Make Payments, you can click Remove. You'll get a message saying that you're marking this assignment as paid, so you're not going to be paying them again. Now, you should only use this option if you have already made the payment or aren't going to be making a payment to the official, because they oftentimes are hard to find again. But we're going to confirm that this is what we want to do. We want to hide Angus's payments. Hit Confirm. Now you'll see he no longer shows in my list of officials to be paid. Now, if I did that by mistake and wanted to bring Angus back so that I could pay him, what you'll do is you'll go up into this top right corner, and rather than selecting Unpaid or Paid, select All. This will pull up all of the officials, both paid and unpaid, and will give you the opportunity to restore any officials that you've already removed. To do that, on the far right-hand side beneath the removed date, click Restore, and you'll get a message just letting you know that the slot has been successfully restored. Okay. And now you see I have a checkbox to pay Angus once again. A couple other useful tools on this page. You can change the sort order of the payments if you have lots, based on the date, the payee, the sport, the amount, the position, and the paid date, just by clicking on these blue links at the top. If you're looking for a specific official, you can always search by their name in the top right corner. And that's payments. So, in summary, this page will list all payments that you've made, both paid and unpaid, as well as payments you may have removed. You can change which payments you see by going to this drop-down. To pay an official, you will verify the amount. If you need to change it, click the box, the three little lines to the right, and then fill in the boxes. And then to make the payment, you'll check the box next to Angus, or your official, and then go to the bottom right and click Make Payment. Then just follow the prompts that are given. One thing to know about the payer TIN is that this is especially important if you're doing your own taxes, your own 1099s for your officials. Make sure that this is filled in, otherwise it's difficult to generate those 1099s for your officials at the end of the year. Now that we've covered payments, we'll talk briefly about Simple Pay. To access Simple Pay, you'll go to Payments in the black tabs at the top, and then select Simple Pay from the gray sub-tabs. So simple payments are used when you want to pay an official or another school, but that in a way that's not tied to a specific game. So some situations are if you need to pay a participation fee to another school, if you need to pay an official for an additional amount or for travel if you forgot that, or really any sort of situation in which you're paying a worker, an official, or another school and you don't want to make a game. So from the Simple Pay page, you can go to the top right-hand corner to this green Payment plus Payment button to create a new Simple Pay payment. So first thing you'll do is you'll select whether or not you're paying a person or one of your opponents. If you're paying a person, you'll select person. If you're paying one of your opponent's schools, you'll select opponent. Now we'll say person. Person we want to pay is Angus. So we'll type in his name. And once you've typed 3 letters, it'll begin searching and matching officials according to your search. You can also do Bruce will also pull up an official. And this is based on your officials and workers lists, and the opponents is based on your opponents list. So now that we've selected our official, we can select whether or not it's tied to a specific sport or event. And for our case, we're going to say that it was for a basketball game. You can fill in the amount that you want to pay the official. We'll say 25. You can also specify the details of this payment, if it's a game fee, a travel fee, or per diem that's owed to the official. Then you fill in any notes that are important for the official if they're going to try to recognize this payment. Once you're ready to go, if you're the one that's going to be authorizing these payments, you'll type in your security key and click Pay Now. If you're creating these payments but won't be the one to actually authorize them, you can click Pay Later. Let's go ahead and do that. What this will do is it'll create a payment record that other administrators in your group can go into later and can pay these officials. You can do that by checking this box on the far left, and then from the action drop-down, select Pay. Then it'll prompt you to select your account number and your security key. If you wanted to pay an opponent, it's very similar. You click the plus payment button. You'll select Pay Opponent. You'll search for the opponent you'd like to pay. You'll select if it's for a specific sport, and then you'll fill in the amount. This is really useful for tournament fees, participation fees, cancellation fees, any of those sorts of things. Simple Pay is really designed for that. You'll follow the exact same steps with an opponent. If you're looking to pay now, you'll fill in your security key and click Pay Now. If you're looking to pay later, you can click Pay Later, and it'll generate a payment here that you can follow the same steps to pay at another time. From this page, you can also find payments you've already made by looking at paid payments or unpaid payments, filtering by sport or by date, or by the name of who you paid. So, in review, the plus payment button is used to create payments. You'll fill in information. If you want to pay now, you'll fill in your security key and click Pay Now. If you'd like to pay later, you'll click Pay Later, and it will generate these lines that you or another administrator can pay at a different time. So that's most of what we're planning on covering today. If you have any other questions, or there's something you'd like to see demonstrated or get a little more information on that pertains to the webinar, we'll open it up for those. If you have any additional questions, please go to www.arbitersports.zendesk.com for additional support or to listen to our previous webinars. We want to thank you for taking your time to be with us today and hope this was a positive experience. Feel free to provide any additional feedback or question.
So we'll, like I said, we're definitely opening up for any questions or any demonstrations you may need. Would love to see you or anything like that. And we'll be able to definitely answer those and be able to give you a little bit more insight into that. So let's go ahead and let's look at these really quick. So looks like we do have some questions coming in, so I'm just grabbing those. We're going to get that information really quick for you here.
Okay, hi, this is John Evans from the implementation staff. Thank you everyone for sticking around. We'll go ahead and start answering a couple of questions that have come through for this webinar. If you haven't had a chance to post any questions yet, you can do so from your webinar toolbar, and we will address those as they come through. So a couple of questions and notes that have come through. When it comes to printing vouchers, we just wanted to point out, sometimes when people click the print voucher button, they don't see anything appear. That's because they haven't turned off pop-up, or they're blocking pop-up windows on their browser. So once again, if you try to go and print a voucher, but you don't see the voucher pop up on your screen, it is because you are blocking pop-ups, and you need to go to your browser settings to disable that feature. Okay, and then we are getting a lot of good questions about Simple Pay. So we'll go ahead and just recover a couple additional items. The purpose of Simple Pay is to give you an opportunity to pay fees for items that are outside of regular games. At this time, it is a great tool to pay opponents various participation fees. We are exploring additional features to tie those directly to games and to keep those payments connected in those features, but right now Simple Pay is a great way to pay those kinds of fees. Also, on the Simple Fee page, if you are selecting a specific sport, that does not necessarily mean it has to be tied to a specific game. You can use the sports category. For example, if your school uses multiple accounts to track various categories of payments for your budget reasons. So you can either say no sport, or you can select a specific sport if you want to put it under the umbrella of a specific department in your treasurer's department. Okay, and then we do have a question here saying, I've started to use this to pay event workers and would like to have a voucher similar to what officials sign as a record that they worked. Is this available? We don't have a voucher system for workers that's on the same level as the officials. However, we can help you to get similar kinds of reports. My recommendation is to give us a call at our support line, which is 1-800-311-4060, and our support staff can help you find the right kind of report that could help you with your event workers. In the meantime, David and I can take this information as feedback for potential features down the road. Okay, and then here's a good question. Is there a fee for Simple Pay? As of right now, the fee for any kind of transaction fee for Simple Pay is the very same transaction fee for running a standard game payment through ArbiterPay. And that is going to be based on each organization's contract. If you have specific questions on what your organization's fees are, feel free to contact our sales department. That number you can reach us at 1-800-576-2799, and we'll get that phone number posted on the questions dashboard here as well for you to see that. So once again, the fee for Simple Pay as of right now is the same as any other standard payment that you make through ArbiterPay. And if you have any questions on what that is for your organization, call our sales and renewals department at 1-800-576-2799. That is the number for our sales department, and our renewals department is 801-702-8028. Okay, does the payment to an official through Simple Pay count towards their 1099? Yes, by default, that payment is sent to them. It's still considered an independent contractor style payment, and it will be, and it would count towards a 1099 payment. Okay, how do you accept payment from other schools, and what happens if the school is not on Arbiter Pay? So Simple Pay requires that both schools have an Arbiter Pay account in order to be able to transfer the money. So the school should already be in Arbiter Pay system. If you are trying to search them from the opponent search bar and you do not see that opponent come up, that most likely means that you have not added that opponent on your opponent's tab. So click on the opponent's tab and go ahead and search for your opponent's school information and add them to your account. Their Arbiter Pay account is connected to Arbiter Pay, and so automatically when you add them as an opponent, your Arbiter Pay information will be able to directly communicate with their Arbiter Pay information when making these payments. Okay. Is there a notification that you have been paid through Arbiter by email? Yes. Anytime that there is a transfer or a transaction, we do send out email notifications to the recipient indicating that they have received money.
Once again, we're still here, so if you guys have any questions or anything else that you are interested in, please let us know.
Okay, we got a question here saying we're logged on our Arbiter Pay account and there isn't one school coming up as having an Arbiter Pay account. Seems odd as our AD says he knows many of them that are using it. And that is probably the case that they are using an Arbiter Pay account. Unfortunately, we don't have tools here to be able to look at any specific issue. My recommendation is that you contact our support team at 1-800-311-4060. They would be happy to and very able to look at your account and see the information that you're looking up and help you locate the Arbiter Pay accounts for the schools that you are trying to pay. These are excellent questions so far. We love hearing them. We are still here. And we'll be here for the next couple of minutes, or as long as you need us, as long as those questions keep coming. So please keep posting, and we'll keep answering. Okay, once again, everyone, we'll go. Looks like we may have all the questions that we've been asked for today. We'll go ahead and stay on for about 3 minutes more. But once again, from Nick, Dave, and I, thank you very much for attending and for your participation in this webinar. And we will keep posting additional webinars for any topics that you find interesting. And we look forward to seeing you later.